Let's see. Everybody's crisscross applesauce and ready? That's listening. Okay. You guys have been working with Miss Gamble with your check for understanding when you're reading, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to read to you a story today. It's my favorite story. I'm going to read you a little bit of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. How many of you heard that story before? Okay, well, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to read a little bit, and then we're going to work on our checking for understanding. So after we read a few pages, we're going to stop and think about who the story is about and what's happening. And so if I ask you to share with your knee partner, then you might just talk with your friend, and you're going to ask those two questions. Who the story is about and what's happening. And then when I ask for you to tell me, then you're going to raise your hands so you can let Dr. Knight know what's happening, okay? Now, this is my favorite story because I like the wolf. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Everybody knows the story of the three pigs, the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think that you were big and bad too. So, I have a little sticky note here, and that's a reminder for us to stop and check for our understanding. One of our comprehension strategies. So, talk with your knee partner and tell them who the story is about and what's happening so far.
You and it that it's about a wolf. But it doesn't.
All right, come back. Who wants to tell me who it is about? RJ.
It's about three little pigs and a big bad wolf.
All right, and what's happening? Miles.
So far, he said that they don't know the real story and what they eat.
Okay, so who's telling this story?
The wolf. The wolf.
The wolf. Very good, Sloan. The wolf is telling the story. All right, let's get back. Well, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. All right, let's think about it. So I have a note here to stop and check. What's happening in the story? What's happening so far, Lauren?
That he's cooking the birthday cake for Granny, and he asked the little pig for some sugar.
All right, so now we kind of know what happens with the three little pigs. So what do we think might happen next, Rebecca?
He's gonna go
Okay, he might. Is he?
He's gonna blow his house down.
Oh, let's see. And I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there.
That's awful.
What happened, Dominique?
Oh, the little pig got eaten. He got eaten. Oh my goodness. I just want somebody to.
You want somebody to get the wolf?
Ooh, yeah. I just want. Ooh. How will he get tased by taser?
I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first pig's little brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chin.
Ooh, it's gonna eat on. Ooh, if that was my mouth, I would. Ooh.
I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and snuffed and tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's little house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor.
I could animal control and get him all back and eat him all.
Now, what do you think he did with that little pig?
That's a bad, dirty.
Now, you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had his house built of bricks.
That's good.
Okay. And I'm going to stop right there, and we're going to talk about what we have read so far. Now, who was the story about?
The wolf.
The wolf. All right, now what has been happening? Can somebody tell me very quickly? Chloe. All right, and so we don't know what's going to happen with that third little pig because Dr. Knight is going to stop the story right here. And we're going to allow you to go out into your groups. Miss Gamble will help you with that. Go out into your small groups. And when you are reading during your daily 5 time today, when you are reading, I want you to check for your understanding. So I want you to read a little bit, and then I want you to remember 2 questions. Who the story is about, and what's happening at that particular time in the story. And that'll help you summarize and better understand what you're reading. So, Miss Gamble, will you kind of help them move to their groups?
I will. Okay. Yesterday, table 2 got to choose first, and table 3, if you'll come choose.
Excuse me.
We'll see. No. And Miss Gamble, I am going to leave the book.